Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Mostly.
Wow. He did it again.
He did it.
He did it again.
He did it.
He did it.
The man.
The legend.
The visionary. Michael
Fink.
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 Mr. Fink.
The best.
Dr. Fink.
Another repeat director.
Not just a repeat director, a repeat auteur.
Yes.
Because most of the time you watch these nonsense and it's just like, oh, it's a thing.
Yeah, right?
But then you get those directors, and from movie to movie,
It's just the same.
they have a style.
Yes.
They have trademarks.
They like to repeat themselves.
like Hitchcock and Scorsese.
Well, expect for... Yeah, wow. I can't talk. Except for Hitchcock and Scorsese add new things, and
There were new things.
but they don't repeat the same story.
It's not quite the same story. It's just the same.
It's pretty similar.
No, it's just the same. Like
Style?
style and like I don't even know. Setup?
So, I don't know if everyone remembers, but we reviewed a movie
A Kino.
from 1975 called Black Force, or AKA Force 5.
Force 4.
Force 4, okay. Yeah, my bad. And we praised it for its martial arts scenes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Acting. Cinematography.
Everything.
Everything.
You especially. You loved the
Oh,
shakedown scene.
yes.
You loved it.
Que paso?
You owe me, man!
Que paso? Que paso? Thank fucking Christ we did not have another one of those scenes. We almost
sort
got
of
there.
did.
We almost got there.
But it didn't.
But it didn't go as long or as ridiculous as that shakedown scene. And I
Sadly.
thank a higher power above that didn't
don't.
happen.
It's not. It misses.
It didn't need to happen.
It misses the raw shit. It's too polished. That's my issue.
This is his magnum opus.
It is. I mean,
This is his... He directed Force 4 and was like, you know what? I'm going to do one more.
it's like Michael Fink is trying to get his movie right.
I'm going to do one more, and we're going to call it Velvet Smooth.
It's like he's trying to get his story right.
Yes.
It's like Black Force was the rough draft.
Velvet Smooth was the completed...
This is like the second draft. It's not quite final draft. If he maybe made one more...
He might be able to make a
might get it.
semi-enjoyable movie.
Bullshit. This was highly enjoyable.
Okay, just for how ridiculous
And you're
it
a
was,
fucking liar for implying this is not a entertaining pile of garbage. But it's like he's trying to get it right. And it's literally, I could explain this movie as, it's like Black Force, but a little better.
A little more competent.
In every, way. It's
Yeah.
a little more, there's more plot, the fight scenes are better, the acting is better, it feels like less of a, it still feels like just it still has that feeling of just like a couple bozos decided we're gonna make a movie, but it feels like less so.
Yeah, it feels like they put more effort into this one.
Well, certainly more plot.
More phone calls.
Oh yeah, that's how they get the
A
plot
lot
across.
more phone calls. Mm-hmm. That's his main driving force is phone calls. That's how you string together a movie.
If your characters are in a different room and you forgot to write them in the same room,
Phone call.
phone call time. One character has to call another character because you didn't write them into being in the same room together.
Yeah.
So you have to make phone calls for the
Exactly.
whole goddamn movie.
Yeah. Just do that and you're good.
And we gotta see them.
So, like I said before, movie we're reviewing tonight is Velvet Smooth. She is so smooth.
You guys ever see that movie, Foxy Brown?
If anyone did,
That's a good movie.
it is a really good movie.
Or Coffee
Mm-hmm.
with the same actress as Foxy Brown. It's a good movie. Or let's see, Cleopatra Jones is another one.
Yeah, but now
But
we can
now-
we can add a new one into the movies,
We
the
come to the-
blaxploitation films named after the main woman.
We come to the number one of the blaxploitation badass woman.
The cream of the crop.
Yeah.
We got Velvet Smooth.
Velvet Smooth.
That is her actual name in the movie. Velvet Smooth.
It says it's so on her fucking voicemail.
This ain't no TNT Jackson.
No,
This is Velvet Smooth.
her name was not TNT.
No.
Bullshit. TNT Jackson was bullshit.
I wish her name was TNT Jackson.
They fucked up because they don't get it. In these movies, that has to be the name. Like in Foxy Brown, her name is Foxy Brown.
Well, at least in this they got that right because Velvet Smooth is her actual name.
They had to get something right.
Yeah. They got some things right in the wrong ways.
Mostly right.
Yeah.
Also wrong, but also right.
Yeah.
It's like simultaneously wrong and right together.
Yeah, it was just entertaining to see them trying to get things right.
It rides that line. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, they're trying.
Trying so hard.
They've seen other blaxploitation movies and they're trying so hard.
I feel like Michael Fink really wanted to make a really good blaxploitation film.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to make a great blaxploitation film, and he failed with Black Force. Then he tried again with Velvet Smooth, and still didn't quite hit the mark. So he was just like, you know what? It's impossible. I can't do it. I'm giving up. Because he only directed these 2 movies.
He really should have tried one more. He could have finally got it right, but alas.
He could have probably made an enjoyable blaxploitation film, but he gave up.
Well, to be fair, we do now have a record of 2 enjoyable blaxploitation movies made by the amazing man.
Yes, we
And you
have.
can't say these aren't enjoyable.
We have his filmography now.
The whole fucking thing.
Yep.
We've seen it.
All right, so should we jump into it?
Yes.
All right.
The movie jumps into it.
Oh, right away we get a dry cleaner going through his the garments he's cleaning.
Yeah.
And he someone enters his shop and he's like, just a minute, I'll be right with you. And he looks through more, and then he goes to the front and just gets the shit beat out of him.
There's just these dips
I just
in in fucking masks.
I love how ridiculous this scene is because they just start hitting him, but they're not really hitting him, they're hitting the camera. They're punching at the camera, and it shows him lying on the ground rolling around.
While
they're just hitting the camera.
Yeah, and then after they're done hitting the camera, they show they grab a box and they take the money out and they grab some money, then they strewn the papers on him.
They just throw them all over him, and then they leave.
And then next we see a guy shining shoes. He finishes shining one pair of shoes and he moves on to the next one, and the camera pans upward. And there's a guy reading a newspaper, and then he puts down the newspaper, and it's a guy in a mask.
And then they beat the shit out of the shoe shiner.
He does not beat the shit out of him. He instead kicks him so hard it kills him, maybe?
Yeah, but they still beat him on the ground, the shoe shiner. The shopkeeper is who they kick in the face.
No, they...
Because the shoe shiner, remember, they beat him...
They beat up the guy with the kids.
Oh, the shopkeeper?
Not a shopkeeper. He has
because he's outside a little fruit stand thing.
Well, he has a little something. But yeah, they beat him up. But the shoe shiner, he just kicks him in the face and takes the money or the stuff.
How much money would a shoe shiner have?
Well, to be fair, he's working for the organization.
King.
King!
Who will meet in the next scene after they beat the shit out of the shopper.
You may remember this man. The artiste. But then there's a shopkeeper, or he has a stand.
He's helping, he's showing kids some toys.
He's showing them some tricks.
And then they run off, and then the guys in the masks come over, and they kick him down on the ground and just start like kicking his nuts a bunch of times.
Pretty
and,
much.
like just like fake beating him up on the ground.
As he like kind of awkwardly squiggles around like a fucking wet fish, and then they take his stuff, and yeah.
Then don't we get a scene? Is it the detectives or is it the? Because they show someone before King gets mad. Like it's like really brief though, and it doesn't matter. But like I can't remember who they show. It's
No, I'm pretty sure it just cuts to King.
because it showed someone else before, and then it just cuts to King. But I mean, it doesn't matter because the scene is so insignificant.
All I remember is it cuts to King in his like office,
which is all wood. It's all like tan wood.
he loves him some wood. It looks like it looks like one of those display things at like Home Depot or something. And he's just sitting there, and he's like angry.
He's like pissed off because basically these masked guys are going around on his turf and taking his collection money. Because these people that they beat up are paying him for protection.
Yeah.
And so he's pissed off that they're taking all their money, and someone's trying to get at him.
And his strategy is like, we're gonna change the routes that like people take to deliver the money. We're gonna change all that stuff. We'll figure everything out, and then they're done. And he goes
Spoiler
to his...
alert, they don't figure everything out.
Yeah. Shocking. And then he goes to his phone and he gives a phone call.
He calls Velvet Smooth.
And we get the voicemail. Like, you've reached Velvet Smooth. Blah, bitty, blah, blah. Leave a message.
And then all of a sudden we get the fucking credits.
The Velvet Smooth song.
Oh my god, this is one of the worst theme songs I think I've ever heard. Like, one of the worst blaxploitation theme songs, because they're usually, like, pretty groovy. This one is just a mess. It is something. All over the goddamn place. Like, it's so, like, offbeat and, like, kind of, like, just disorienting in a way. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
It's something.
Because the lyrics don't match the music behind the vocals, and, like, nothing... No, it doesn't sound like a cohesive song that someone would actually enjoy.
Because it isn't.
It's not, like, enjoyable to the ears. Like, you know, like, you got, like, Shaft. You got, like, even fucking Dolomite had, like, a kind of a better theme song.
Dolomite had a baller soundtrack,
yeah,
okay?
Like, this has a weird... I will say this movie has a weird, like, horror soundtrack. That is odd. It's like it plays horror music during some of the action scenes. It's weird as hell. It is weird as hell.
It's fucking... The whole thing is just fucking weird.
Now, what was the credit for the people who did the...
There wasn't one.
Well, no.
It was like a company.
It said, like, musical organization or something like that.
Yeah, there's like a fucking generic company name. Like, it wasn't even a person.
There's no person behind the music. It's just a company name.
It's just a company. Like a stock company.
Maybe it's one of those companies where you just pay them and you send them your movie and they just put like just whatever they want into it.
Has to be.
That has to be something like that.
It's fucking baffling.
So King tells Smooth that there's something going on with his turf.
Yeah. And then he the next scene after the credits
he pays Velvet Smooth a visit.
Yeah.
And he was going to hire her, but she wants all the details before.
Don't forget, he tells her, with the way you look, you always make business a pleasure.
Yes.
Got him. And he gives her the information, and she's just like, yeah, I'm in. I'll do it.
Yeah, she's like, okay, whatever. Let me call a few people, and I'm in.
And she calls one woman who is studying to be a lawyer.
Like a bar exam. She's studying for, like, the bar exam.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, do I have to? I'm really busy. She's like, yeah, you can put off your lawyer stuff for...
This is a big score. Like, this is gonna pay us a lot of money, basically.
So she's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. But she calls another woman... Well, excuse me. She calls someone in bed. A man picks up the phone, and he's like, shit! Seriously, it's past midnight. Okay.
Alright, here she is. Hands the phone to the woman.
And she's like, oh, really? Okay, fine.
You just ruined a beautiful night or whatever, and like...
A beautiful night of sleep.
Then she's like, okay, fine, whatever, and then they get up. And then we, like, get a weird scene of them going to, like, Velvet Smooth's apartment. But, like, it's so dark that you can't see what's going on. but like the lawyer woman like sweeps some guy's leg.
Because he says you have a sweet ass.
She like sweeps his leg and is like he leaves him on the floor and like goes into Velvet Smooth's
Yeah, but
house.
you forget to mention that the reason she sweeps him is because he starts following her, and he's like, "Hey, you got a sweet ass."
Yeah, and she like sweeps his leg with her
Sweet ass sweep.
sweet ass sweep.
And that's it. And then there's like some women on the street who are like cheering, and apparently, shit, are they the hookers?
I think so.
Because in the credits, there's 2 hookers listed, and I was
That
just like,
has to be it,
and I was just like, who the fuck is that? And it's like,
dude. That has to be.
but like, how the fuck would you know?
I don't know. You don't? Those credits, I don't know if
Anytime
I don't know if Fink like actually like wanted you to read the credits because we did.
Why wouldn't he want us to read the credits? They're like 5 seconds long. But yeah, the 2 hookers are just like cheering, and it's like, oh yeah, any woman who's standing outside is a hooker. But the most important thing is one of the actresses' names is Susu Yum Yum.
Yes.
Ah.
Susu Yum Yum.
Does that sound like a stage name to you, Will?
No,
No.
not at all. That sounds like a real name.
That's the real name you'd have on your birth certificate.
Yep, Susu Yum Yum.
Yeah.
Totally.
But like Warhawk Tanzania,
Yeah.
whose brother may be in this because
There's someone named something Tanzania.
there's someone named like Mike Tanzania
Yeah.
in the fucking credits as like a random Goomba, and I'm just like, is that his brother?
Probably because
Your brother was in Black Force.
well, because it's the same person who played the main guy. So King is played by the same guy.
He's played by Owen Watt. Son.
Yeah. He's playing the same guy that was the lead in Black Force.
He looks a little more chubby in this.
Which is funny, because...
It's only a fucking year.
I know.
Like, damn, bro.
So...
Lay off the burgers.
So the women start talking about the job, and they're, like, figuring out, like, who could be behind these masked, like, criminals, and, like... They're like, okay, well, we gotta go a few places. And
Sorry,
like,
but... Is it after this scene...
They start chasing a woman.
Someone?
Yeah. They start chasing someone, and then one of them like gets in the fight with like the spotlight fight.
I call bullshit on your description there, because I swear to God, in the beginning of the scene, they are chasing a guy.
I don't know. I couldn't tell because it's so fucking
And then
dark.
later on in another scene, they mention how you saved Rodriguez. And my only thing
it could
is,
be, but I thought it was a woman. I look. Listen. I will fully admit that I don't know if it was a woman or a man.
It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle.
Okay,
But I think I got
don't
it.
know.
I think I got it. They were chasing a guy, and then she intervened to save him. But now you may wonder, how could that be confusing? Well, it's confusing because this entire fucking scene is shot under one goddamn streetlight.
And
Not a spotlight, a streetlight. Like, go to the park at night and try to film an action scene with like 20 people.
Well, like, and I love it because like in the actual like street light you can see a lot, but everything else is just pitch black.
And they keep like stepping in and out because it's a fight scene. Like they're moving around, but it's just like, did the scene have to be night? Also, it's filmed from like far away too. And it's just like, it's a double whammy.
So I think we should set this up because after the women stop talking, they say they're going to go shake down a bunch of places, and then they all leave, and then Rodriguez, I guess, gets chased by these guys
out of nowhere,
and then
all we see is, by the way, until they get to the street light, is darkness.
That's why I thought it was. I couldn't tell who they were chasing. It might have been a woman. It might have been men. I don't know.
A bunch of dudes in masks chasing someone without a mask. That's your only introduction to this scene.
Yes.
And then suddenly, one of the women,
the lawyer woman,
not the lawyer,
or is it the other one,
the sleeping one?
Yeah. Okay.
Starts fighting, and then we're just like, okay, this is happening, I guess. And then she beats them all up. And it's fucking horrible. You can't see shit. It's dark. It's filmed from far away.
Oh, it's so dumb.
She keeps stepping in and out of the street light. it's nonsense.
It's over choreographed, which is great.
Every scene in this is over
I
choreographed.
fucking love it.
I love it.
It is great. No, sorry, not Warhawk. Owen Watson
Is a master.
He did all the choreography.
He's a fucking god.
He likes like elbows and fucking back kicks.
He does this. I swear his trademark is like when like two guys will run at the woman, and then she'll punch one of them, and then as the other one is running up behind him, she'll elbow them. Like that's his trademark.
He also loves like things where like the one like a guy will be charging at some woman and like do a flying jump kick, and the woman ducks under it, and the guy kicks the other guy.
Which, to be fair, is fucking great.
It was great.
It does not get old.
Like I don't mind that at all.
No, it's fine. Like it doesn't
But
get
you
old.
can tell like what kind of moves he thinks looks cool on camera.
You can tell because they keep happening, and it's just like that's what?
That's fine.
It's fine.
That is totally fine. Thank you, Owen Watson.
Trust me.
Thank you.
It could be worse.
So now we get Calvin and one of the
lawyer woman.
Yeah, the lawyer woman.
She's
arguing.
looking over his like, because Owen Watson, aka King, told them to like do basically like a fucking audit. And she's looking over Calvin's papers because he's like the accountant or some shit for the organization. He's like salty.
He's like really mad that they're stealing his money.
Well, that's not why he's salty. He's salty that they're like basically looking at his information.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, like I don't give you permission, blah blah blah, and like if it was up to me, you wouldn't even be here.
And she's like, I'm just trying to figure out who's like, who could be doing this, like who's behind this.
Just like, I'll take care of it myself. I don't need your help.
He's acting suspicious, Alex.
It's telegraphed.
Yes.
This is the Pony Express. Okay?
Exactly.
That's what this fucking setup is. And then,
oh my god.
casino.
Oh my god, get used to this fucking casino scene.
Listen, they break the monotony after a while in the second casino scene. But we get a casino, and it sounds like a cafeteria, like a high school cafeteria.
It sounds like everyone's fucking talking, and you can't hear any dialogue whatsoever.
Can't hear shit. And then eventually, Velvet Smooth is there.
And she like plays some craps, and then she goes and talks to the...
She talks to like 3 people.
Yeah, she's getting information, and it's kind of sort of reminiscent of the Black Force shakedown scene.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, because it's clearly dubbed.
It's dubbed, but it's a little more coherent.
It's a little more competent, like we said. This is like Black Force, more competent.
Because now you can hear, whereas in Black Force you heard maybe 10% of the dialogue.
But you still hear this goddamn cafeteria,
yes.
like everyone's talking. And music, and all while Velvet Smooth's trying to talk.
So if in Black Force you could understand like maybe 10% of the dialogue in the shakedowns, in this it's like 70%.
Yeah.
So it's like Michael Fink is getting there. He's getting to
like we said, he's almost there.
It's like he's finally understanding that you actually have to hear dialogue in your movie.
What a concept.
But it's not quite there because occasionally the fucking
especially in the pool hall scene
and the fucking on the bottom just fucking it's a little difficult to hear your fucking dialogue because I guess they couldn't turn the fucking volume up on the one audio track. I don't know.
So after she gets some information, Velvet goes back to her apartment
and immediately
gets fucking like attacked by all these guys in masks.
And guess what? She beats the fuck out of them.
Out of all of them in one of the most insane, over choreographed fight scenes I've ever seen, and it's beautiful.
It's wonderful.
Thank you again. Through all this movie, thank you, Owen Watson.
They got nothing.
Thank you. You are a master at B-movie action.
Listen, this is the shit. Like, they stand no chance. There's a point in the scene when they are so done getting beat up.
They try and run away.
They try running away. Won't let them. And she just keeps punching them. Eventually, they run away, and then she like interrogates
She gets one of them on the ground, and he's like, oh, I just got out of the cage, and this job paid well.
They set me up over the phone, blah blah blah. I didn't see him, and then she just like kicks him a couple times, and the lawyer woman shows up and is just like, she just kicks him too. Like, oh,
Well,
fuck it.
She like kicks the guy, but like she just walks in like there wasn't a bunch of dudes running out of Velvet Smooth's apartment.
Bunch of dudes just got their fucking asses.
She just walks in casually, sees the guy on the ground, kicks him a little bit, he runs away, and done.
Maybe it happens a lot.
I don't know. Apparently,
it is Michael Fink.
Maybe in their line of work, this does happen quite a bit.
It's the Michael Fink cinematic universe, and in this just happens.
They're okay with it. They're like,
we already know. We already know that because we've seen multiple times that random people in these movies will just fucking know martial arts. So this happens a lot, and she's just like, oh, I guess Velvet Smooth just had another fight.
And so they talk about the shakedown, and they talk about like what information they've gathered, and they kind of.
Well, she makes a bunch of phone calls.
Yeah, she makes a bunch of phone calls,
and then
we get Velvet and King talking in his. No, sorry.
In his.
This is such a fucking weird scene because he's in like the shortest robe I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, no, he just got done fucking.
Yeah,
because the girl walks in. Velvet Smooth walks in, they start talking, he's like, you want some coffee? And then a woman just walks out in like a robe, and he's just like, hey, like, what are you doing? Go back to the other room. Like, just like, what the fuck?
And like Velvet Smooth like says something like, oh, am I interrupting anything? And
she's
like,
no.
No.
She's like, well, you've been busy.
Yeah.
And then he sits down, and they start talking about how she suspects Calvin because he's being a dick. Shocking. But that doesn't matter. The most important thing in this scene is you get the movie magic.
We get a special appearance by the microphone.
By a big old dick at the bottom of the screen.
Just pointing at each actor as they deliver their lines. I love it because like they're both sitting and then it has like a coffee table and then you just see this little like microphone poking up.
This little dick.
And it just like keeps moving from side to side as the actors are talking.
So yeah. King talks, microphone is pointed at him. As soon as she starts talking, it points over to her.
Then it finally goes away when Calvin enters the room.
Sadly, it goes away.
Because it kind of zooms in more on the, like, because they all stand up.
Yeah.
And, like, it zooms in more so the microphone's gone so they can dick around with it more on the bottom of the screen.
The movie magic. It lets you see it. But, yeah, and then he walks in and he's still salty.
Well, he's, like, complaining that they're interfering with his, like, whatever he's doing. Like, his...
I can't believe you've let a woman interfere with us.
His accounting stuff.
Yeah.
I guess because he's the accountant for King. And King's like, just calm down. I hired him to, like, investigate this stuff. And we just have to see where this goes.
And then
we get a guy... And then Velvet Smooth walks out. And then we see a guy walking really quickly with a briefcase.
He doesn't look suspicious at all.
No.
But that's fine.
And then he does a couple pickups.
And then he goes to, like, a fucking fruit stand and sees a dead body. And runs away, and then we get...
literally, it's kind of insane, because, like, a few masked guys starts following, like, chasing him. And then the next scene, like, fucking, like, 20 of them
are 20
just,
people.
like, fucking on him, like, flies on shit. And we get, the point of view.
The most nauseating point of view shot I've ever witnessed in my goddamn life.
Of the guy running with the suitcase, and it's just, like, pointed up in the sky and just shaking all around. Like, it's so, like... I was like, oh god, I can't
they only show for like a couple seconds, but it's just like,
oh, it's enough. It's effective enough.
But it's just like, if that is supposed to simulate him running, oh my god, have you ever seen that fucking video? It's, what the fuck is it called? But it's like that fucking, like, it's like someone like going to work or some shit.
Yeah.
And it's like that weird, like, looks like a mannequin.
Oh,
do you know what I'm talking about? Where he's like,
where he's just, where he's just like shaking all over the place.
Yeah, like that's like that's what that fucking camera angle looks like. It's just like it's like pointed upward in the sky
and like shaking all around. Like you can tell it's the sky, but it's everything else is so blurry.
It's just like shaking like fucking insanity, and it's just like, is that supposed to be his point of view?
So he finally gets to like a dock, and
that's after he runs through a basketball court.
Oh yeah,
and then kind of like from like a mile away, you see him sort of punch some dudes.
Oh yeah.
And then he gets down to the dock.
And he tries to beat up a few with the suitcase, like dum,
No,
dum. I love the sound effect they do for every punch. It's like dum, 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 dum.
He tries.
Dum, dum, dum.
I mean, he does beat up like 10 people.
But they eventually get like the upper hand.
Well, eventually he just kind of like, after he's done beating them up with the suitcase, he just kind of awkwardly like tosses it. And then they grab it and then immediately beat him up. So really the logic is if you just held on to that briefcase, he could have beat all of them up with the tink.
But thunk, thunk, like a hollow, like
yeah,
it's like beating a hollow like piece of wood.
Yeah, it's great.
Thunk, thunk, thunk.
But he was a fucking amateur.
And they beat his face onto the ground.
And then one guy, for no reason, unbuttons his shirt, and I'm just...
And he takes out something on his belt. I don't know if it's like a belt buckle.
He takes out his dick.
It looked like he was gonna fuck the guy.
He takes out... It's a very frightening scene, Will. He takes out his penis, and then he walks over and he stabs him.
That would have been more entertaining than what actually happened, because he grabs something on his belt.
A knife.
I think it's a knife, yeah. I don't know, because you can't see.
It is a knife.
And then he stabs him.
But it just kind of looks like he takes out his dick, because he, like, for no reason...
He then grabs his belt and, like, takes it, like, out and stuff like that. For no reason,
he, like, unbuttons his shirt and, like...
It's a weird way to approach a guy getting stabbed.
It looks like he's, like, taking off his pants. I was like, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna fuck him? Like,
I literally thought they were going that far, and I was like, Michael Fink, you fucking madman. What are you doing?
That's new, I guess?
Adding insult to injury? Jesus.
Like, what the fuck? Is he gonna teabag him? But
Holy
no.
fuck, no. But he just stabs him.
He stabs him.
And then, like, a cop shows up.
Yeah.
And, like, investigates the murder. And then we get, like, a bunch of extras. Excuse me.
Like 40 people.
A bunch of people, like, apparently passerbys, just want to, like, look at the dead body. They just, like, they're all, like, fucking interested in this, like, run-down dock. They're all just, like, right there for some reason. There's just all these
people, and the cops are like, stay away, step away, step away, step away,
step away. And they keep, like, awkwardly, like, walking up and, like, trying to look at the body.
Step away, give some room, step away, step away, step away.
And then we get the policeman, the lieutenant, and the detective.
Oh, God. We get, like...
They pull up in this car.
It's a civilian car.
I love it because, like, the siren's going off, but there's no lights. Or, like, it doesn't look like a cop car at all.
It's a civilian car.
Yep. But it doesn't have any lights or anything.
No.
And it's making the sound, and I don't know how.
Movie magic. That's how.
It, like, pulls up, and they get out, and they, like, look at the dead body for a minute.
And then one of the guys is like, any witnesses? Did anybody see what's going on? And the older cop kind of starts, like, bitching him out. Like, what are you doing? Like, who the hell does a public announcement for witnesses? Well, these people don't trust cops.
It's weird because the lieutenant knows exactly, like, what's going on.
It's like, I know
this guy was doing drops, and, like,
he's doing drops for King.
Got with the wrong people, and, like, died for it. And, like, they're just like, okay, cool, and they get back in their car and just drive away.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, then it just goes to the next scene.
King is
pissed.
He's pissed off, and then Calvin shows up, right?
So, no, not yet. Because he just pissed, and then he makes a phone call, and then the girls are... He makes a phone call to Velvet, and, like, they talk about, like, how...
Like, what happened?
What happened. And then Calvin comes in.
Because the girls talk about, like, oh, I heard they killed, like, this guy.
Well, and they're suspecting it was Calvin, because they're like, well, like, it has to be, like, this is, like... Who else would know where the drops were?
They're like, but his drop wasn't on the list. And he's like, exactly. Because Calvin is the one who makes the list, so he didn't put him on the list because he would kill him.
Yeah.
So then
Calvin comes in, and they're playing it all casual.
He's talking to King, and then he starts talking about this, and he's like, you didn't have him on your list, did you? He's like, what are you getting at?
He's like, I know, like I don't even remember what he says, but
he basically says, like, I think the like, essentially that
he accuses Calvin.
There's someone on the inside.
Yeah, and like Calvin's like, there's no way. Like,
Calvin's like pissed, and he stands up, and then out of nowhere, King just like kicks him right in the face
into the fucking wall, and then the beat like just starts like hitting him. He's like, "Tell me why you did it. What were you working for?" And then like he does this weird like, you know, intimidating like karate thing on him, like just like moves his hands really violently in front of Calvin.
He's like threatening, like, if I ever see your face again, I'll like smashed it in
He's
or
like,
something.
get the fuck out.
And that's it. And then he calls Velvet Smooth and just like...
And then Velvet's like, I knew it was Calvin all along.
Well, first she's like, what's going on? He's like, I just cleaned house. And she's like, oh, I knew it was Calvin. He was suspicious.
Yes.
Because, yeah, he was suspicious. But then we get casino.
More gambling and more cafeteria. Just
just insanity.
Total insanity.
I described it as cinematic insanity.
That's just what it is, because it literally annoyed me
now,
how much noise was going on.
I get it. I know what's happening. Like, I think Michael Fink wanted this to seem real.
Well, yeah, he wanted to show like quote unquote real locations. So like this is how it would sound.
You know what this is? I get it now. Have you ever heard the term mumblecore?
Yeah.
Like those independent movies where people just mumble and it's like, oh, this is real.
Yeah.
I get it. Michael Fink is the OG.
Mumblecore.
We get
it out! Holy shit!
All you fucking flannel wearing hipsters, they're just ripping off Michael Fink.
Dude.
Because this is beyond.
He's a visionary.
Because Michael Fink is mumblecore on mumblecore.
Yeah.
The whole fucking scene is just blah, 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 blah. And music. The music's the funniest part. It's just like, it's like garbled instrumentals.
It's great. And then another
music video.
Another fucking Michael Fink original. Like, he loves putting just fucking music videos.
It's like Black Force had the same thing, but in this one, it's like the song's a little better and the music video is a little shorter.
Thankfully.
Because in Black Force, it's like 5 minutes. The whole goddamn song has to be played. In this one, it's only about 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
And, like, I guess the fucking music company Incorporated who did the soundtrack, I guess they put more of their effort into this song.
I would argue this is the only good song in the entire movie.
This is by far better than the fucking opening song, and in this one, it's just like I guess they put all their effort into this.
Yeah. But why wouldn't you put more effort into the theme song for the character?
I don't fucking know, dude.
I don't get it.
Because, like, this sounds like an actual song that you could hear on, like, the radio in 1976 or something.
Yeah.
Whereas the song in the opening is just like, oh, you just kind of wrote this in 5 minutes.
So then, after the music video, we get Velvet talking to the owner of the gambling club, I guess.
Someone.
Whoever he was, I don't know. He was important in that he had something big to do with the casino
He had something to do with it. And then she's just like... Let's get out of here.
She kind of pressures him into... Well, not pressures. She seduces him into going with her to her house. Because he was like, they need me here. Like, I should stay here. And she's like, are you sure you want to do that, Papa? You want to miss out on all this or whatever?
Daddy.
Yeah.
Papa.
She calls him Papa.
I mean...
So they go back to her place and they...
After he's like, okay, fine, I can leave.
So
they walk.
They take a walk.
Because she's... Well, first she's like, let's catch a cab. And she's like, oh no, I'm still a little uptight. Let's walk.
Yeah. And
then we get the romance music as
my God.
They walk.
These fucking sequences of scenes.
Oh
my God. So they show Velvet.
You know what this is, Will?
What?
This is a lesson.
Yes.
How not to edit your scenes together.
This is insanity to me.
So they walk back, and it kind of cuts as they get into the room, and we get a bunch of masked dudes
walking into the casino, and one of them just like lightly pushes a guy. And the guy, like, starts fighting him, and then, like, more guys come in carrying guns.
You know what he started fighting him with? A cane.
Yes.
That's him.
Oh, my God. That's the man with the cane.
He was so important. You never even saw his fucking face.
He doesn't even have a name in the movie. Just man with cane.
You don't even see his face. It's like, okay. But he starts fighting, and he gets his ass kicked, and then they just start, like, holding people up, like, back against the wall.
But I love it, because they, like, start fighting people and holding people up, and then it immediately cuts to... Velvet and the guy. And
it's like...
And it's romantic music.
It's just like, get up against the wall, get up against the fucking wall! And then we just get...
And, like, they're all talking and, like, getting, like, you know, comfortable with each other, and
they're like laying on a couch,
and
she's slowly taking off her jewelry.
And then you get broken over against the wall. You know against the wall.
And then like we get like they're like harassing the woman who's like the dealer at the craps table or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows kung fu, so she fights a couple of them.
And then they get the upper hand on her, and then back to Velvet and the guy
in like the romantic
like
music,
calming music, and they're going upstairs.
And then it cuts, and then like there's
you gotta back against the wall. Yeah, give me the money. Give me the money. You better open this safe.
Oh, the safe.
Oh my God, the safe.
They just walk into like an office, and there's just a giant safe just sitting in the fucking corner.
But I love it. It's like 30 seconds of madness, 30 seconds of romance. It's like like just intercut. It's like 30 seconds of madness, 30 seconds of romance, 30 seconds of madness.
The safe, and there's the money, and then it just cuts, and now the guy's like walking downstairs,
and he's like buttoning up his shirt. Apparently,
you're just too wild. She's like, oh well, hold on, I'll get dressed and I'll walk with you. And I'm just like, okay. And then they walk back.
And then
to the fucking casino, and I'm just thinking, like, does that mean that they fucked for like 20 seconds?
Apparently, because they're still like holding them up at the casino. Oh no, they're not. Never mind.
No, they're done.
So he immediately knows something's wrong.
He just knows.
He goes in, and he's like, oh, who could have done this? Like whatever, blah blah blah, and they figure out that Snake is the guy that did it.
Some guy named Snake.
Snake made this whole operation possible. Like, invading the club and stealing all the money. Some guy named Snake who we never. Yeah. Okay. So Snake.
You see
is
the back of his head.
Yes.
With a bullet hole in it, but that's it.
So we get Velvet. She knows immediately who Snake is. She knows where to find him. She knows where he's gonna be at.
She says, like, I'll get my own group and we'll go get Snake, and they go, and it's a pool hall, and again you get blah 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 blah, and then they're breaking the pool.
I love when they break the pool balls.
It sounds like a fucking atom bomb.
It's just like.
It sounds like a fucking atom bomb going off. I'm just like, holy shit, dude.
The audio mixing in this movie is like zero.
It's
like
cinematic insanity.
No one cared about audio mixing in this goddamn movie.
They gave zero shits. And they go in there, and then like some guy just comes up to one of them and is just like, you bitch.
And she kicks him in the nuts.
And then I still don't understand the scene. We just see a bunch of goons follow them into like the back room.
Yeah, like no one's talking, no one's saying anything.
They just walk into the back.
They just walk into the back, and a bunch of guys just come into the back and they start fighting.
But casually.
Yeah. And then all this just out of fucking nowhere. No one says a goddamn thing. They just all start fighting. There's no fucking build up.
No,
like there's nothing. Like no, like people like getting like like there's no like tense scene where Velvet is talking to some guy and they get into a heated argument and then they start fighting. No, it's just right to fucking fighting
immediately, and it's fucking awesome. It's fucking just like,
again, we have to thank the master.
It's like 1 on 10 battles.
Thank you, Owen Watson.
This is female empowerment, bitch. Okay, it's just 1 on 10, like, and the funniest thing is how inconsistent it is. Like, there's sometimes they're fighting and like it's like really fast. Like the actor that was doing the martial arts was like, I guess, proficient enough that he could actually do it quickly. And then occasionally they're fighting someone and he's just like fucking like turtle.
Just like he's like even Owen, like some of his like Owen Watson's the King's like fight scenes, he's like doing like super slow moves and like,
oh god, it's so hilarious. Great. It's just like,
but then other times he's doing like fast scenes. Yeah. Like the cinematography, like the choreography in these fight scenes is all over the goddamn place in these scenes.
It like varies depending on who's fighting who.
Yes.
Like
and how intense they want the actual like move to be.
Yeah, and
because if it's a more intense move, they go slower. But
It's
if it's just kicks and punches, they go faster.
It's the best like student film ever made.
It's great.
That's what it feels like, okay? And also, we have to talk about the most casual pool cue fighter on the planet because he just kind of like
Oh yeah,
walks in.
I love he just walks in like literally no expression on his face, none. Like he doesn't have. He's not angry. He's not happy. He's not sad.
Nothing.
He's blank.
He grabs a pool
He is a
cue.
blank canvas of a man.
Yeah, he grabs a pool cue and then starts fighting with this woman. And then eventually she knocks him onto a pool table.
But I love it. Even when he's getting hit, he's just blank. He's just blankly. He doesn't get angry at all.
No,
he's just blankly staring.
No, and then he gets knocked onto a pool table that has like a cover on it to mask the fact that they have like a fucking pillow there for when he falls on it.
And you can tell.
And then she like smashes his nuts.
Yeah, she just like brings the pool cue down like a fucking sword onto his nuts.
And then we get like a dub scream of
I feel like that actor is incapable of even screaming like that though.
He's incapable of doing anything
except
for fighting with a pool table.
I just love
the fucking casual look on his face.
If you do anything, go watch this fight scene and just look at this fucking guy.
Because they make it a point.
He makes literally no expressions the entire scene.
He is the only like goon in this scene who you get a clear view of his face, and that's the one.
That's the one that doesn't make any facial expressions whatsoever.
For the rest of them, it's like you don't ever see their faces. All you see is like them getting punched.
Or they'll like hit the ground and like cover their face with their hand or something.
Yeah, just like, or their hair is in their face, or like they're all like anytime it's supposed to get their face, it's like a fist or a foot in front of it.
Dude, I wish this unexpressionless, like unemotional bastard did more movies because he's like a robot. He is
fucking great.
He is like a fucking robot.
He's going to like beat up a woman with a fucking...
He acts like a fucking android. Like he has no like emotions whatsoever.
He's like going to beat up a fucking woman with a pool cue, and the look on his face is like, he's going to do laundry. It's
just blank.
It's
like,
fucking great.
Like hashtag adulting. Just like, you know, like just has to like walk in like all blankly.
And after all this insanity, they finish beating them up, and then a bunch of them go to run away, and the cops show up, and then one of the cops goes to the back,
and then you hear like a gunshot,
and then
they go back in, and the guy's dead on the floor,
and the cops like, I told him to stop, but he wouldn't stop, and the cop's like, what the hell? So your first reaction is to shoot him?
Well, and then King's like, this guy's unarmed, you pig.
And then, then they start wondering, like, there's something up with that cop.
Right. And this is just, it's not even foreshadowing. They just kind of give it away.
Well, they give it away because there's only like 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
And then that's all done. So they're all suspicious of this cop. And then we get a pillow fight. Remember?
Yes. Oh, well, we should mention at the end of that scene, they say, oh, that's Snake. And then King's like, well, it looks like my problem is solved.
That takes care of my problem.
Yeah, like, just meh.
And then that's it. And they're all happy. And
then
King and pillow fighting
his woman are having a pillow fight.
With the hoe from earlier.
And they're all having fun, and then they hear a doorbell.
He, like, overpowers her with his pillow. He starts macking on her, and the doorbell rings, and he's like, God damn it, every fucking time I'm trying to, like...
And he opens the door, and a guy falls, like, into the room, dead.
Like, out of nowhere, and then he gets a phone call immediately. And it's just, like, a guy whose face you're not seeing.
But I love how you can, like, it doesn't show his face. You can clearly fucking see it's the fucking detective.
You can't see, but you can hear.
Dude, I already knew.
Well, you knew because the scene before this, they were, like... Not even hinting, just telegraphing it to you.
Like, hey, this guy's bad.
And then it's just like, okay, there's only 20 minutes left. They're not going to waste their fucking time with an intricate, like, thing. It's him.
Well, he has the same voice, too, so it's like they didn't even mask it.
Yeah. And then he's like, meet me. Like, let's have a meeting. He's like, when do you want to do it? I'll do it whenever. He's
like, no time like the present.
There's no time like the present.
Meet me on the roof of this building.
And then he goes to the roof, and we get a song. The best song. He's coming.
He's coming for you.
He's after you.
And then, like, we get these, like, He's coming.
You spent your whole life being good. You've never went to the joint, and now you're dead.
Oh my god! And like King is like dressed in this like martial arts uniform.
He's dressed in his
with
fucking
a giant tan V on it.
He's dressed in his Wu-Tang Clan outfit. Okay, chill, homie. And then as this fucking song, like he's coming, he's gonna get you, like this fucking nonsense. And he goes to the roof. It's like a helipad. And then
they're all talking and like...
And it's the cop,
it
shocking.
shows the cop.
And he starts talking and he's like, I killed Calvin because of this thing and I want you to be my... You're gonna be my, like, street guy. You're gonna work for me. And he's like, I won't work for you, pig. And they start fighting.
And I love it because they're fighting and like all this stuff is happening.
And it goes full Benny Hill.
Well, no, I love it. Before it goes Benny Hill, we get, I guess, King wanted to go Super Saiyan.
Oh God!
So he's standing at one edge of the circle, and he's like, ah! And he even takes his he forms an X with his hands and like puts them down to his sides all like intensely, and he's like, ah! But they show it like 5 billion times. It's like ha 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 ha,
and then he just kind of punches him.
And he just punches him.
Like that's it. Okay.
I guess he was summoning strength. I have no idea. But then it goes full tilt Benny Hill.
It starts speeding up the footage.
I wish you could put a... Because
not only does it speed it up when they're fighting, it speeds it up when they're fucking running.
And it's great because they're like chasing each other all over this rooftop. And like...
It's like fucking Looney Tunes.
It's great. It's fucking awesome.
Oh my God.
They're like punching each other and then like they'll run all fucking fast. Like... punch each other, and then they have like this thing where like King will like flip him over, and like it's all fucking fast, and you can tell it's sped up. I love it. It looks
so
ridiculous.
obvious.
It looks fucking stupid.
It's so obvious. It's fucking hilarious, and eventually he the cop kind of gets like a head start on him, and then King catches up to him, and they fight some more, and he knocks him down a bunch, and then the cop turns around.
Like, King gets on top of him
and stabs
and is going to go for the final blow, and the detective stabs. I thought he was reaching for his nuts.
It looked like he grabbed his nuts. Also, by the way, we should mention during the fight earlier at the pool hall, remember when she karate chopped that guy in the nuts like 50 times?
Yes.
There's literally a scene where she's karate chopping him with both hands.
I love after
and
the
there's
fight.
there's like random guys behind her who are like trying to fight her, and she just like kind of like not even looking, punches them, and then goes back to karate chopping this poor fuck
I just
in
love
the nuts.
Because after the scene is done, he's like, it just shows him like groping. It's like he's like cradling his nuts. It's fucking great.
And it's just so awkward because he just like his hands just like kind of by his side because it's like a long shot, right? They're like all leaving the room, but in the middle of the shot is the dude laying there, and he just kind of moves his hand and then like starts like
it was like groping himself,
like groping his balls. And I'm just thinking like was the actor like having a fucking laugh at their fucking mercy?
I guess.
And they just left it in.
Big dick fucking Watson.
They can be like,
here.
Hey, you, stop grabbing your nuts. We're filming the fucking scene.
He's like, all right, and they just fucking grabs him anyway.
He just grabs them like
just grabs a fucking big handful.
He grabs a handful, and it's just fucking goofy as shit. But in this scene, we thought that he hit him in the nuts, but no, he stabs him, and then he yells something.
I can't remember what he yells, but then
garbage.
That scene's over, and like Velvet knows it's the detective. She's like, I'm sure it's the detective.
Well, she doesn't know. Yeah, she doesn't know the King's dead.
So she calls the detective as King?
No, first she goes to the police station and meets with the cop's partner.
Oh, and they're gonna set the detective up.
No.
What?
Not quite. Well, he doesn't know that they're gonna set her up, but she tells him that she suspects the cop, and she just wants him to keep an eye on them.
Doesn't the detective come back and he's all like bruised up from the fight?
After this. So after she's done talking to him, the cop kind of propositions her like, let's get some coffee. And she turns him down, so he can't get any of that loving.
No.
And then, oh God, we get the fucking guy who played the villain in Black Force. He's like the police commissioner. and he's like harassing him about the fact that his partner shot the guy.
Dude, my favorite part is when he's reading the guy the Miranda rights
Well,
while
no, there's
punching
like
him.
Well, he's like leaving the office, and then there's some guy like, "Fuck you, pig," and he like grabs him. He's like, "Hey, did you read this guy's rights?" He's like, "No." Okay, fine, I'll do it.
You have the right to remain silent. You have the
Right to an attorney.
Anything you say can and use.
And then he's like, "Okay, he's yours."
But I love it because it's like the most awkward punches on the planet because you can tell he's pulling them.
Yeah.
Like, because he's not actually hitting the guy, right?
Shocking.
But it's like on camera.
Yeah.
So it looks fucking goofy. Because the guy's barely reacting to his punches.
The weirdest thing, though, is after Velvet Smooth leaves, she runs into a guy in the hallway and he drops some papers. And he's just like, "Oh, it's okay. You don't have to apologize." And it shows like a close-up of his face. And then he like smiles at the camera and walks away.
Is that Fink?
No, it's not Fink.
Who the fuck is it?
He's not on... If you look up the movie on the internet, you can't find him in the credits. But in the movie credits, his name is like Shmoily Schmegma. I'm not joking. I'm not fucking kidding. And I'm just like, who the fuck is that?
Dude,
But we thought it was the director as like a fucking cameo.
I just know on a later date I'm going to describe a movie as Shmoily Schmegma.
I'm not even joking. That's his fucking name.
Yes.
I'm just thinking, like, am I supposed to know who that is? Was that, like, Michael Fink's favorite, like, fucking, like, coffee shop comedian?
I have no idea.
Did he, like, see this dude at, like, a fucking open mic night one day? And was just like, you know what? I'm putting him in my movie. Because you can't find him on the fucking credits on the internet. He's just not listed.
I know.
He's only in the movie, and we thought it was the director as, like, a fucking, like, wink-wink cameo. But no. It's his idol. Schnagme Schmegma. That's... wow.
A little bit too close to Smegma there.
Thanks, Michael Fink.
So,
But then...
Velvet calls the detective and imitates...
She has a recording of... I don't know where she got this.
Is it of King calling her?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but he, like, it's a
It's a
voice
recording.
of King.
And it's King setting up a meeting. That's the recording. And so he sets up a meeting with the cop. And they drive to, like, a warehouse. And the other cop follows him. And he goes there. And he sees it's a setup. And then he threatens to kill the cop.
Like, I love this because, like, before this scene, the detective, like, kind of knows something's up because King's dead, obviously.
But
so
he still goes there.
But he calls a bunch of his goons. You don't see him yet, but he calls a bunch of his Goombas.
You don't see them.
And he's like,
Whoa.
hey, get all my guys.
Does he say that?
Yeah, he said he did.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't remember this shit at all.
But we also forgot to mention the fact that the detective comes back to the lieutenant and has bruises all over his face and acts like super suspicious and says to take the rest of the day off.
Yeah.
So he can go fuck up Velvet Smooth, apparently.
So he can go have his
His meeting.
with King.
Yep.
And then he sees the setup, so he threatens to shoot the other cop. And then
Velvet Smooth kicks the gun out of his hands, and he just he doesn't even say anything. Just like 50 fucking guys like just storm into the fucking warehouse.
he says something.
Does he?
He says some useless. He says some generic like bad guy shit. Like, oh, you'll never get away from this. I run these streets now. Blah 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 blah. Then he's like, he's like, bleh! And then just like,
and then all these like fucking like 50 guys come into the
it's
fucking
the
warehouse.
same actors.
And I love this scene because the entire time that Velvet and all of the company is fighting, we just see the detective in the background just standing on a fucking dolly.
Like a fucking mannequin.
He's just standing there with no expression on his face whatsoever.
It's him and a goon.
Yeah, just for no reason.
They're just standing there, like, watching.
It's like in a video game when you're, like, fighting, like, just before the boss. Like, if you, like, play video games where you can see the main boss. Like, it's like if you're fighting a bunch of villains, and then you just see the boss, like, just waiting for his turn to come out.
That's literally what happens.
Yeah.
'Cause after they beat everybody up in what is the greatest fight scene ever filmed.
It is fucking great.
After all this,
I noticed all these fight scenes, they just rank up. Like, you know, you get like kind of
the shit one,
and then billiards,
and then the billiards is better,
the billiard, and then this one is just the fucking best.
The tits, and
it's
then
so good.
After they beat the shit out of everybody, the boss the boss enters.
He like
and
gets down from the dolly.
His fucking he doesn't. I was gonna say he gets his ass handed to him, but really, he played himself.
Yeah.
Because what he does is he does a fucking flying kick,
And
she just like lightly crouches down, and he
just
flies into a fucking box, and that's it.
He's done.
Oh, by the way, the fat cop is in this fight scene as well.
I love his fighting. It is the slowest, like, turtle like...
Oh, they try.
They tried to make him
so hard.
Cool. Like, I love it because they're trying... Owen Watson is like, hey, I want to make this guy cool. I know he's a little chubby, but let's do it.
And then he tried so hard. They tried so hard, but they did have the best... He did get his moment, though, when he smashed the guy into the wall and his face turned to ketchup.
Yes.
That was great.
Ah!
It's so awesome. Or when he throws the guy through the fucking boxes.
Yeah, because there's boxes everywhere, and you're like, are they going to use those boxes? And then he throws them into the boxes.
Throws them in there, but they beat the There's also that one part when, like, all the guys just keep running past the woman because she's, like, quote-unquote, dodging them.
Yeah, but they're not even, like, attacking. They're just running past her.
And eventually they just, like, run into each other. It's fucking great. But she beats up the big bad, and he, like, admits to her the king's dead, and blah, blah, blah.
And then, like, the lieutenant walks over and is like, well, looks like I'm gonna have to find someone new for the number game.
The end!
The end! That's it. No resolution. I mean, resolution, but, like, there's no, like, scene, like, showing where they ended up or anything. They don't need that. Just, looks like you're gonna find someone else for the number game. End.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
The joke is that the so-called good cop is also in on it. The end!
That's how he ended it. Fucking velvet smooth.
Do you remember how... Again, upgrade. Do you remember how Black Force ended? When they find the drugs in the thing, and they're like,
right.
I'm gonna take these drugs and throw them away so they don't make their way back to the streets, and then we get like a greatest hits of the fucking movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For like 10 goddamn minutes. Again, upgrade.
Yes.
In this one, it's just like joke, end. You beat up the main bad guy. You get a joke. The end.
That's it.
That's it. And then, like, literally 1 minute of credits.
That's all we needed, man. That's all we needed.
What a god.
Fucking awesome.
Michael Fink.
So, what are your final thoughts?
Oh, I love this. You know what this is? I find this endearing.
I think so.
It's endearing in that, like, you can do it. You can do it, baby.
And if you do it, it probably will be at the very least, slightly better than this movie.
No. Because I've seen things. I've seen movies.
We both have.
Not just, so I'm not talking about the ones on this podcast, but they may be coming up in the future.
Probably.
When we bring them up.
I mean, probably.
Guaranteed. Unless someone deletes them from the fucking internet.
I don't think they're going to. So.
I hope not. But I have seen worse than this. So
at
the very least,
actually, we've seen worse on this podcast.
Because at the very least, no. Here's the thing: we've seen worse, but we have not seen more amateur.
That's true.
That's the thing. This is the most amateur hour. Like, it just feels like you and your friends made a movie. That's it. Like, you have a friend who knows some sort of martial arts, and you're just like, let's make a movie. In this case, let's make 2 movies.
Yep.
And you did. That's what it feels like. This looks like a movie that you would make as like a fucking... Like, you and your friends are bored. Like, you and your friends, you watch a lot of Bruce Lee movies, and you're just like, let's make a movie. That's what this feels like. Like, me and you could make this fucking movie.
I think this is Michael Fink at maximum effort, right?
Yes.
This is him at maximum effort, and he even produced this movie. He didn't produce Black Force. He produced this one.
Yeah.
So that means he had a hand at the entire production
At
of
everything.
this movie.
Yeah.
He didn't write it, but who
Someone.
needs a fucking writer in this? Like, it took like 2 people to write this fucking movie.
I mean, it almost feels improvised. I'll be honest.
Yeah, like there's very little writing you need. Like, literally a crooked cop makes a bunch of Goombas try and take out a crime lord, and insanity ensues.
And shenanigans occur.
Yes.
But it's just like, it's so amateurish. And I think that's what makes it endearing for me, is because, like, I'll take this over professional garbage.
Yes.
I'll watch this over, Transformers 5. Or whatever fucking, garbage.
Because at the very least, this is like... I would argue that this is more entertaining.
It 100% more entertaining, but also it's more pure. There's no cynicism here, right?
So my final thought is, I again, and I can't get over this, Owen Watson needs to choreograph every B movie ever. He, the way he does B movie action is some of the best shit I've ever seen in terrible movies. It is, the fight scenes are so bad they're endearing. They're so terribly choreographed that they're actually entertaining as hell.
They are.
I don't know how he does it. He makes them so bad that it reverses into actually entertaining. It's not a good fight scene whatsoever. It doesn't look like actual martial arts. But the fact that you can sit there and enjoy it and just laugh at how bad these actors are doing it, and the fact that he had to choreograph slower people doing slower martial arts and all this stuff, and he even incorporated a kind of chubby lieutenant and had to choreograph an entire fight scene for him. He is a god of B-movie action.
The fact that he's a little out of shape just makes it better for me.
Yeah,
because
it goes out of its way to show him shirtless quite a few times.
Yeah, it just makes it feel more real.
But I would agree with you.
It adds to that feeling of a bunch of friends made this.
Michael Fink, I think it's endearing the way he makes terrible films. I wish he would make more movies. I wish he would have made more movies.
Yeah.
Because Black Force was bad, but I think if he we keep saying this, and this is my final thought, and I agree 100% with this. If he had just one more shot, more shot, I think he would have got it, because he was almost fucking there.
I looked up. Almost nobody in this movie has done any work outside of this and Black Force.
Even Owen Watson?
Owen Watson has done literally one other movie, and it's a TV movie. I'm not kidding.
That's a shame.
It has it's someone made a fucking YouTube fan film, and somehow it got released as a sort of mainstream movie.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
I love that about that, though.
That's what I love, is that
it's
it feels like this. You could make some nonsense like this for $5.
Yeah.
It's just they couldn't even get a cop car.
No.
That's how cheap it is. The rooms have no decorations.
That's what makes this movie so fucking good.
Yeah. The actors, half of the actors, I swear, I looked up, they're reused from Black Force.
Probably some of the stunt people.
They're probably just all friends.
Yeah.
They just call each other up. Hey guys, you want to do it again?
Let's do it again, Michael Fink. And they're like, Michael Fink, you fucking madman. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Owen Watson is just eating burgers and doing fucking martial arts, and he's just what do you want, man? I got it. We're doing it again, boy.
He's like,
and guess what? The script is better this time.
He's like, I'll do the choreography.
You got me, man. I'll do all the choreography. It's good, man. The script is a little better this time.
Man, I couldn't get Warhawk, though. Couldn't get Warhawk Tanzania in. Sorry, man. I tried, but I just couldn't get it.
But you know what that means? You got to choreograph everything.
Yep. And you're going to be one of the stars.
You'll be there.
Don't worry.
I
got you.
even got you a fight on a rooftop. I bribed the janitor at that building. We're gonna have a fight on a rooftop.
Dude, like, you're even gonna do a power stance and you're gonna get a sick yell. I'm gonna film it like 5 times. Like, it's gonna be my favorite scene in the movie.
Oh god, I love it so much.
It's great.
It's so amateur.
Please, I implore everyone to go watch this. If you enjoy just crappy martial arts films,
Just
go watch this movie.
feel inspired.
I love it.
Like, feel inspired by how cheap and pathetic a movie can be and still be, like, entertaining.
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah.
But it's a good feeling.
It shouldn't be, right?
No. This movie by no means should be entertaining.
No.
It should be crap. We should have hated it.
No.
But we didn't.
I cannot.
It's entertaining.
I can't hate this.
It's endearing and entertaining, and that in itself is a fucking miracle.
I can't hate this movie. It's physically impossible.
Go on Amazon Prime. That's where we watched it.
Yep.
And watch the... I put this in heavy quotes. Digitally remastered version.
I wonder how bad.
The film quality is shit, and this is digitally remastered, so I can't even imagine the first original print.
I don't want to.
But go watch it. Get a bunch of friends that enjoy, like, martial arts movies at all. Just fucking enjoy it and get inspired. And, go make your own shitty martial arts movie.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You can do it. $20,000?
This nonsense cost $20,000, and it made...
It's made its money back.
Now, keep in mind, the amount of money it made back is, like, nothing, if you really think about it. This ain't shit.
Well, it's more than they spent on the movie. A lot more than they spent on the movie.
Joke's on us, because cost $20,000, it made $770,000. Now, that's nothing. However, when your movie only costs that much, that's like, what, fucking quintuple your budget?
Yeah.
Like, you made your fucking money back.
And more.
And more. So you could give Owen Watson a fucking bonus.
So this ends our legacy of Michael Fink, and I just want to give an applause. Thank you, Michael Fink.
You did good, boy.
Thank you. Black Force wasn't the greatest, but I will remember Velvet Smooth.
You talk about, like, sophomore slump. Like, people talk about sophomore slump with music or directors.
Yeah, the sophomore
this
is kind of crummy.
This is the opposite. This is the sophomore peak.
Yep.
You peaked.
So thank you, Michael Fink. Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, for They Mostly Come In at Night, this has been Will.
And this has been Alex.
And we will talk to you all later.
Velvet Smooth.
Velvet Smooth.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming for you.
Michael Fink!